Nice. On a list of video topics I had written earlier in November to try and produce consistent content, trying to ascertain where certain creators are, the person we're going to discuss today was last, because I had actually forgotten they existed until December the 1st, 2023. And then I remembered I have covered this person before, once, when they first got into trouble, and I had thought that would have been the end of them as a YouTuber because of how they handled the situation. I am speaking of Without a Crystal Ball. Katie Joy Paulson? Katie Joy was the name we knew her by then. I actually don't care enough about the name. Without Crystal Ball is what I'm going to refer to her as for this video. She had, up until the point I'd made my video, gotten into trouble a few times. Amber Portwood had allegedly threatened to sue her for posting clips of her machete incident with her baby daddy, which could have gotten into big trouble with her probation officer. As a moral to the story, Amber Portwood, it involves not being so reactionary and or violent. You had after all pled guilty to 2 felonies, DV and intimidation. You had 906 days of probation. Like, fam, in that instance I was on Without a Crystal Ball's side. They were reporting. At that point they also marketed themselves as a bit of a journalist. Without a Crystal Ball had started out covering infant children that were disadvantaged. Drama though is quite lucrative, and that is where the attention was shifted for Without a Crystal Ball. Without a Crystal Ball though got into some legit trouble when covering Tati Westbrook, because Tati Westbrook had written a few checks with her mouth and it went down like a lump of lead. Of course, it didn't exactly go down well for Without a Crystal Ball either. That was settled out of court. I had, which is why I never covered this, thought that this would have destroyed the entire career of Without a Crystal Ball. Not that I wanted that. I did not want that. I do not want that for anyone. I really don't. I want everyone to thrive, prosper, succeed. There are some creators though that require a bit more time to prove they are worthy of the online space and the audience that they garner, right? In the case of Without a Crystal Ball though, Tati Westbrook wasn't the only lawsuit that she had to deal with. There was another involving Todd Chrisley. I've covered Todd Chrisley on this channel because Todd Chrisley's in prison. A Halls of Injustice, in fact. I was very happy with that because reality TV people annoy me. Like the Duggar family. Without a Crystal Ball has covered the Duggar family, and I have spoken of one of them because they're also in prison, and rightly so. Without a Crystal Ball was also, I don't know if it's still ongoing, much like with Todd Chrisley, I actually don't know, being sued by 7M Productions, Robert Shin, Miranda Derrick and James Derrick. And all of these lawsuits had me sit back and think, you're screwed, surely. But that was a reactive response because Katie Joy, Without a Crystal Ball, is still active on YouTube. And so whereas I wanted to do a Where Are They Now, they're on YouTube, which is still a video I want to do because actually we get to, in this video, talk about what Without a Crystal Ball does, now anyway, and why I'm not overly fond of this particular type of creator. Let's go with that. There are many like this on YouTube. I'm really not a fan. And there's a reason why. It's an obvious reason why. This video might be short, yes, because I don't need too much to make my point. And I'm not remotely sorry either. So I guess welcome to another edition of Where Are They Now with a 10-minute TED Talk at the start. Okay, close to 3.5, but you know what I mean. Without a Crystal Ball is a commentary YouTube channel. Without a Crystal Ball has been going since 2018, has grown to over 300,000 subscribers. Now, when I made my first video on Without a Crystal Ball, I believe she had 150,000. Since then, 200,000 have come her way. That is, of course, fantastic, and I'm very jealous of your success. Originally, started as one type of content, shifted to another when it became more lucrative, and then shifted away kind of again, but not, yes, because of the whole journalist credential aspect, to focus on reality TV shows. Christian fundamentalists were her bread and butter. It can be argued that is where she excels, and there's nothing wrong with that. I've discovered I excel talking about the dainty queens, unless I insult somebody that also does content on them, in which case my videos bomb. Yay for me. I'm so happy. If you do want to know a bit more about the Tati Westbrook incident, I will link my video from back in 2020 in the pinned comment. By all means, go check it out. Since that had happened, and the community was up in arms and, well, she was pilloried left, right and centre, Katie Joy, Without a Crystal Ball, had to reprogram, recalibrate, push on, crack on, and do her job so that she could continue as a creator and succeed on the platform. It can be argued, at time of recording, she did exactly that. Again, nothing wrong with that in the slightest, and I'm not criticising that at all. Whether Katie Joy learned from this incident with Tati Westbrook, you would assume yes, because it had to be settled outside of court. As far as Todd Chrisley goes, I don't know how you settle that one. I had heard it had been settled, but I couldn't find anything to corroborate it. The same with 7M, to be honest. 7M, for those who don't know, is a management company for some of the top social media influencers in the world. It has been alleged by a number of people, some of whom were actually represented by the management company, that it was nothing more than a cult. This went so far as to be featured in an HBO Max docu-series from Campfire, Rolling Stone, Niall Capello and Chrissy Teigen. Miranda Derrick and James Derrick were dancers represented by 7M. Needless to say, this is not the easiest of times, nor has it ever been for Without a Crystal Ball. I vaguely recall there being a number of Change.org petitions to try and get her yeeted off the platform, demonetized off the platform, of YouTube that is, for undermining what it means to be a commentary channel, but also for spreading false information. Allegedly false information. I say allegedly because I don't remember as much as I'd like to remember at this point. At time of recording, Katie Joy Without a Crystal Ball has released 2.8k videos, 357,000 subscribers. The majority of the content gets well over 100,000 views for every single video, just not the one that, spoke about being hacked. The main focal point of the channel concerns the Brown family. Is this the one called Sister Wives? Sister Wives is a reality TV show that's on TLC. The show follows a polygamist family, which includes Cody Brown, his wife Robin, ex-wives Mary, Janelle, Christine, and their 18 children. Why am I not surprised they were originally from Utah? The show has been running for 18 seasons. 18 seasons. This family have been here, online. This is ridiculous. Children have grown up on this show. But this is the kind of content that has for a long time been very popular. I'm not going to judge it too harshly. I have seen people like Michael B. Petty tweet about this stuff a few times. I just don't know what to think about it because this kind of crap bores me. For the past few months especially, 5 to 6 months I think, Without Crystal Ball has explicitly uploaded content on the Browns. There have been other things, Josh Duggar's appeal being denied, sure, other Duggars, why not? Cody Brown lashing out, potentially at Katie Joy, but the main focus has been the Browns. That is the content produced by Without Crystal Ball, and it is the content that gets the most views on the channel. I am not now going to judge the type of content that Katie Joy makes, because, in truth, I wish I could get these kind of views. But CPM isn't that great this time of year either, so it's fine. I had thought, by the way, because of the polygamist nature of the marriages, and with 3 of them leaving, that perhaps the show Sister Wives would be cancelled. It's in its 18th season, so no, it's unlikely at the moment. We'll see how the ratings go, right? Which does mean that the nature of the content that Without Crystal Ball produces is contingent, for the most part, on these channels continuing to produce these, or networks anyway, producing this content so that she can make her videos. The thing is, this is 1 to 2 videos sometimes a day covering the Browns, because there's so much going on at once. It's all very hot gossip. My issue with this type of content is it almost looks obsessive. I will applaud one for their success, but I will criticize when I think that this looks like, not a grift, because I don't think that's what this is, but a lack of variety and looking like a one-trick pony. I understand, of course, when one was doing more drama commentary, the trouble and the heat was a bit much, so moving away to this actually was a smart move. But at the same time, I scrolled through months upon months of content, and it's a lot of content. And these are fairly lengthy videos talking about the Duggars and the Browns, with a few Goslings here and there. So whereas with other Where Are They Now videos I've shown other clips from the past, there isn't really much to show because a lot of what is being produced by Without a Crystal Ball is nowhere near the genre that it once was, and instead is speaking about the Browns and the Duggars. Of course, in the case of the Duggars, there isn't much left to talk about really, and I'm sure Katie Joy can confirm that since Katie Joy's made so many videos on it. The same can be said for the Browns, but for as long as the show is on air, there is always going to be something to talk about. To me, it's fascinating because while I'm not overly fond of the obsessive nature of making so many videos on the same subject in a short space of time, I know that this style of content does appeal to a wide audience. You know that because of the views, but also because shows like this are quite popular. reality shows with people's lives on blast, yeah, that. Especially when you involve polygamy from a family that sued their own state for their unfair polygamy laws, or anti-polygamy laws, and won. The fact the family have at least once been bankrupt, yes, I know things, is intriguing. I guess the point of this TED Talk video is to show that not everyone is going to be as controversial when they change direction as a content creator. Still providing commentary, but sticking to a lane that they clearly excel at. Usually that involves taking a risk and trying. I may not be a fan of this content, but I can't hate somebody for changing a direction to focus on something else. Although I wouldn't be at all surprised, based on previous track records for Without a Crystal Ball, if when the Browns' money officially dries up, they don't just decide to sue her for profiting off of their misery, or their own stupidity, depending on your interpretation. I personally prefer stupidity. I think it's funnier, but give it time. I'm sure another one will come back round, won't it now?